try to get you some water.
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we drank so much water today, and before we came, I went to like a juice bar thing. And
Do you want pop?
I'm good, thank you. No, I don't.
Sure?
Yeah, no.
So, the relationship with Al.
Yeah.
How was your relationship with him?
Good. Like he.
Did you call him Al or Alan? What'd you call him?
We all had a nickname. We called him BGA. It was all our friends and stuff like that, because he was kind of a really nerdy guy and stuff like that. Like his real name was Lloyd, but he went by Al. So it was just, I called him Al, like not Alan. He would introduce himself as Alan, but it was always, he was Al. Like, and he would, like, the one thing that like I think my wife and I both loved about him is that he loved our kids like they were his own grandkids, right?
Oh, yeah. It's hard to find.
My dad's wife doesn't. And he would take my son to the airplane museum and see train shows. Like he doesn't have any grandkids of his from his daughters yet, and
So I'm trying to wrap my head around why he would come out. Because he got out of the house.
That's what they say.
Barely.
I read on the paper. Well, in the article that my wife read to me, it said that he was found on the grass or something. So that's what the article said.
But he made some utterances about Rick or Rich. So that's why I was trying to get what your relationship was like. I wonder where he would get that from. Do you know any other Rick or Riches?
I don't know any more of.
To?
Like the detective in there said, he goes, maybe he was trying to get them to call me. But even like this morning, I said I don't know anybody on that street, other than we have a friend from baseball growing up, Joey Costigan, and I tried to call him this morning because he lives on the end of the street to say, like, when we didn't know yet. But he did a lot of like modeling. He did not modeling, making models. Sorry. They were members of the yacht club. I honestly don't know their friend pool. I know a few of them, Janet and I can't even think of their names now.
What was the relationship like between Al and your dad?
To me, it was like non-existent. Like I when they were together, like I said, they didn't socialize. I like at parties, like it might be a hello or something like that, but there was no, they didn't fight. Like there was no ever screaming matches that I saw it, and now it's in front of all the family and stuff. But as far as I know, that Alan, my dad, didn't get along, but they didn't, like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't get along, but it just, the only time they saw each other, as far as I know, was Christmas time and kids' birthdays.
And they were civil with each other?
Oh, yeah, they just sit on one side of the room and, you know, or
did they ever chat? Have you ever seen them have like a beer together?
No, I've never.
Not like that, just kind of in the same room, but
same room, but kind of maybe oblivious to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any reason for, like, where does your dad live?
He, like, where was he when he was at his cottage in Midland, I believe? Like,
oh, okay.
They have a house in Brantford.
Okay. Does he ever go there for any reason to Dundas?
he has like his friend Paul McCartney. I don't know if they're close anymore. He's the guy who texted my dad this morning to tell me to tell him, and my dad called from there. I don't think my dad has anything in Dundas anymore. Like, they spend the majority of their time up at the cottage and shuttle back to Brantford. They're trying to sell their house in Brantford now. So,
do you know anyone who would want to do something like this?
No,
Was there any enemies that Al had, or your dad had,
my dad had?
Or sorry,
Oh,
Al had, or your mom had?
Like, that's what I've been thinking about all morning. Like, I can't think of anyone, but like, Al makes models. My mom makes quilts. Like, she, you know, they said that on Friday when I came over to drop it off, my mom said, "Did you leave a crowbar in our backyard?" And I said, "No, I don't. I have one crowbar, and it's in my garage." She's like, "Oh, because Al found a crowbar in the backyard." I'm like, I thought, I didn't think much of it, and when he came back, he was like, "Oh, did you leave a crowbar?" I'm like, "Why would I bring a crowbar when I'm dropping my kids off with you?" And he brought it out and showed me. It was like a big, probably as long as this, big blue octagonal crowbar that he had in between the gate and they had a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
And that's the only
And
weird.
when was that found?
That was Friday morning. And
Okay.
when she came over to our house, I kind of joked. When she came over to my house, she was telling my wife about it, and then I kind of joked to my brother, like, "Oh, they're getting old. They can't remember where they're leaving their stuff," sort of thing.
So, as I understand, like, explain the house to me. So, the way the house is,
Yeah.
there's a pool in the backyard.
Pool. If you look at the house, the pool's in the back right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how
Divide.
do you gain access to the backyard?
So there's only one all through the house. You can go through the sliding glass door or down a half flight of stairs. There's a back door,
Okay.
and then there's a gate on the left side of the house between the garage, beside the garage, not between it.
Okay. Which side is the gate on?
Which
Side of the house?
it's the far left if you're looking
Far
at
left.
it.
Okay. And does that gate have a lock on it?
It's not. I don't think it has a lock. I think it's like chained, like a chain link sort of thing that wraps around it.
Yep.
That's how we let when the dogs go for a walk. I think they used to have one of the clicker things, but the dogs would jump on the gate. And
Okay. And is there any way anybody can get into the backyard from the graveyard? I understand they back into a graveyard.
they back onto a graveyard. Yeah.
So, is there any way anybody can get into their backyard from the graveyard?
I guess you could hop the fence. I think we fixed it. There used to be on the far end of the pool. There used to be like a dip in the ground.
Oh, that somebody could get.
I think it was more from animals and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
But a person couldn't fit under there.
I honestly haven't looked at it in years.
Okay. And it's a chain link fence, I take it.
So the
One in the back into the
yeah,
graveyard.
yeah.
By the city, right? Like the,
It's I assume it's by there. And there's their backyard's split into two. So there's the pool side, and then it's kind of like the dog side.
okay.
And the dog side doesn't have any grass or it's got a tiered, like a retaining wall sort of, and it used to have cedar trees, but now it's just like a privacy fence. And on the pool side, there's a overgrown cedar hedge.
Okay. Now, has there been any problems, like, with people hanging out in the graveyard or anything
Honestly,
like that? Has your mom ever said anything to you? Like,
Not that I can recall. Like when she said about the crowbar, I was kind of like, that's weird. Why would someone leave a crowbar in your backyard? Like that just.
Mhm.
And she said, "Oh, maybe someone hopped the fence and came through or something." I'm like, "Well, it doesn't make sense."
No.
I know when we were growing up, there'd always be like, you'd hear people in the back, but honestly, like I haven't stayed there for 20 years, so I don't know.
But the last time you've been to their house to drop off the kids was when?
So it was Saturday when I fell down the stairs. Yeah.
And then which day was it when they were at your house?
When they came back
Was
to my
it
house.
still the same
It was
Saturday?
yeah, because she
Okay.
took me to the hospital.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now investigations like this, I have to ask,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take it anyways. But your phone.
Yeah.
Just pertaining to this case.
Mhm.
I believe you. When you
Mhm.
say you were at home with your
Yeah.
son. Like, why would you make that up?
Yeah.
But we want to track to see where you were.
Yeah.
Or your conversation. So I would take it.
Yeah.
If you want, you can sign a consent. Shows you're fully cooperative. And I'll download the contents and we'll. Are you fine without your phone till tomorrow?
I've been talking to. It's like my main way.
I know, communicating because of your mom. We would take it, download it, and give it back to you.
We're gonna have so much stuff to do. Like
I know. Okay, I'm gonna talk to my bosses and say that you're willing to give your phone over.
Yeah, you can like
But,
if you could do it now. Like I just.
Let's see if somebody. I don't know if somebody's still working now. Let me just check.
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure I can't get you anything?
I'm fine. No,
Okay. What kind of phone is that? An iPhone? What?
6S. Not very new.
Okay. that downloads phones. Of course, they're gone home already by like 4, but we're gonna call them back in
Okay.
so we can get your phone to them and give it back to you.
Okay.
Okay? Because it's important just to cover all our bases.
Mm, that's fine.
And yeah. So I'm gonna. Do you need meds or something for your...
I took some Advil before we came, so.
Not that I'm like supplying them, but I don't know if I'm past like a
No.
dosage. You sound like you're
No,
in
no,
pain.
it's sore. It's, you know, that's all. Yeah, and it's always sore, so it's not a big deal. But
I'm not gonna say your address on video because we never do.
okay.
Tell me if this is right.
I'm looking right.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is there a password? The passcode?
It's 888888. Just as many 8s as you can
Just
put in. I think 6
eight
8s.
away?
We turned it off to come in, but
Okay. So it's a black iPhone.
yeah, black iPhone 6s. They said to turn it off when we came in.
Yeah.
So. And then it's just like
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think there's 6 of them. Yeah. It's just I just hit it as many times as I can, basically.
I'm gonna do that.
Probably not the best code. But.
Oh, we know you asked them. Okay. So this is you coming over here so I can show you. It's okay, don't move. That's you at your address. And do authorize me, but it's not going to be just me. It's just me. I'm going to take it and give it to them. Of me or any other officers deemed necessary to enter and search a black iPhone 6s. And there's your password. Located here at 155 King William Street and its contents, which are controlled by me, and seize any items which are believed on reasonable grounds to be relevant to this investigation or evidence of any offense to be contraband. I fully understand that any item seized as a result of this consent search may be used as evidence against me or against any other person or persons for the purpose of criminal or statutory charges and in court procedures. I have been advised and understand that I have the right to consult counsel without delay, and that I may telephone any lawyer I wish. I further have been advised that I have the right to free advice from a legal aid lawyer, that if I am charged with an offense, I may apply to the Ontario Legal Aid Plan for legal assistance. No promise, threat, or inducement of any kind was held out to me by members of the Hamilton Police Service or any other person in authority in order to gain this consent. This consent was not obtained by direct or indirect coercion, duress, intimidation, or manipulation. I have been informed and fully understand that I may refuse to consent to any search, and that I may revoke my consent to search at any time. Okay, let me get you right here. And I will officially take your phone. Do you want to, like...
Oh, you just
Like,
Oh,
do you want
no.
to text that person back?
Yeah, call. Yeah, it's my wife.
Tell her you're gonna have your phone, not have your phone for a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Yeah. I'll get it back to you.
Yeah.
Even if I have to get it driven back to you. Okay. But I promise I'm not keeping it. Okay, you good? It's okay, I have to see it.
No.
Okay, I will take this and this and give it to them now. Give me 1 second, okay?
Thank you.
She says, okay, babe, love you.
Oh, thank you.